If you can't beat him, join him.
It's such a good pick, actually, because I feel like the composition from D+ was kind of gearing up to, like, okay, you run into us, we have Trundle, we have Cassiopeia, we have Renekton, you're going to kind of get melted by this. And the Ziggs, it's like, well, fine, we just won't run into you. We'll just throw bombs at you endlessly. Cassiopeia, the way she functions as a champion is horrific to play into Ziggs, because you want them to come into you, he's never going to do that. You know, they pick the Poppy, the Nautilus makes sense as a response. In terms of the engaged supports, he's one of the ones who fares better into Poppy, but still, now you have this Ziggs Poppy who are just going to maintain distance, hold you away, and, you know, now T1 don't have to play into Ziggs.
Yeah,
we talked about how it was their 0-5 against the pick. It's now blocked for the rest of the series, as is the Ambessa. So they've denied some big picks from D+ with this. Even if they end up losing this game, they've denied some massive tools from D+.
And you've got non-committal options as well, like the public execution. It's kind of a masterclass here from T1. Draft looking good, but let's get onto the Rift and see what happens. And Xiu is going to be winning that lane for now as the pillar comes down in this mid lane. Ona turns up, flash out from Faker, as Ona wants to be able to do battle with Lucid here, but there are a lot of minions and there's an angry snake. So get out of there. As an Australian, I know snakes, that's serious business. Just do not, they just don't risk it.
And this is the fact that Faker's already TP'd back to lane, and he's in this bad a spot. I mean, it's a great gang from Lucid, forcing Oda to show up to try and help, but...
Flash advantage for the Cassiopeia as Ona is going to move over Vision. Dustbringer comes down, spell shields the Noxious Blast, and the Flash has to be employed as Carrier was making his way over. Beryl finding out exactly where Ona is.
Oh, no.
I think his position is also known. Another Dustbringer comes down, as now Beryl does get spotted on that ward, does need to use that dredge line to get himself out of there, and the Dragon will be given up and will reset as the flash away as Doran was making his way over. Beryl now in trouble, does manage to buffer the hook pretty nicely as Ona flashes towards him, aiming, trying to get this Nocturne out of there as a public execution. Max range from Doran, and they're able to take down Beryl for first blood.
Honestly, this is one of the frustrating things about playing Trundle into Rise, is when he just phase rushes and just sprints out of the pillar. Well, Doran is about to have TP.
Yeah, but he is right now locked in the bottom lane. And these grubs are going down. Bouncing bomb, not going to be enough to steal this one away. As two grubs will be taken, it looks like a third is going to go over to DK here as well. So a little bit of extra side laning power as Mega Inferno steals it away. Never you mind. And yep, Gumiushi is pretty good at doing that.
How does he just every time?
And bonk. Very nicely done. Yeah, Ona is looking to try and put some pressure on this Crab as Lucy's going to get slammed into the wall. There's a Paranoia as well, and Subjugate not going to be enough to save him. I'm not entirely sure what the plan was there as the Realm Warp comes out. Faker is going to make his way over, slows down Xiu here, but he is going to be okay. But it should mean that Dragon Control is well and truly there for T1. Very flexible, has a lot of options as Hook is going to catch Doran once again, and even the Valkyrie damage is going to be enough. That was an overstep as the Corki is very strong. Meanwhile, here towards the bottom side, this Renekton in a bit of trouble, doing a decent job to try and keep himself alive, but it doesn't quite work as Faker just barely survives. Big item spikes to come in, but let's have a look at this from Faker's perspective. As he's tanking up this turret. Whoa!
Went to 9 HP.
He was very close to dead.
And you saw the potions ticking. That made the difference. But now Doran in trouble.
In trouble yet again as a depth charge going to come down this time around. Will be absorbed there by the ulti, and I don't think he's going to be getting out. That's another kill going over to aiming, and both of them go into his hands. As Mega Inferno Bomb not going to be enough to save that turret, and it looks like DK will be able to get first brick in this game. He's storming the IKEA, man. Like, he's just got plates all over the place.
Yeah, and, you know, feels bad for the Ziggs when he's not the one getting the plates. Oh, Faker.
Yeah, Beryl making his way in. Faker going to flash, and that was a good one because there are a lot of DK members down here. Carrier could be in trouble, though. Steadfast Presence comes down. Xiu catches him with the stun, and there is nowhere for this Poppy to go. More plates going over to DK. It's like it's a Greek wedding.
And if they're able to pick up this top tower with the power of the Ziggs.
Well, we get a bit paranoid here towards the bottom side of the map as Ona does go in, then immediately goes out. So Rift Herald is getting taken down very low. Beryl in position as he just gets evicted. All right, well, goodbye. Lucid comes over and steals it away, though. Never mind, there was a troll just waiting in there. It's like it's under a bridge. As we have a redemption coming down, Lucid gets all of his health bar back as the teleport comes in from Doran, and immediately he is blown up. And there is is nothing that they can do about it. Highway robbery here by DK,
얘만 1200이다.
which is fantastic.
Yep, Blast going over the wall, and they just don't have vision of him. Just slides in, ends up being a miss smite from Ona there. Now D+ going to be able to get a ton of value off the back of this Herald.
Yep, and takes down the outer turret in the mid lane. They're also taking the dragon at the same time as T1 not quite finding it as Petrifying Gaze connects on to the Poppy, but Keria is going to survive. We get a bit of a zoom in here from Jonas Strong, but not any joy going to come of that. But Lucid is going to be taking this Drake, and so that will be feats of strength over to DK.
They set up a trap here. I think they may have found Shiwu.
Yeah, the Crocodile has certainly been sought out as the heroic charge does come in. Public execution comes down as well. The redemption this time from Beryl is going to work, but the paranoia comes in. The flash out, he manages to get the stun as Ona overcommits for it, and now we get some knockups to come through Beryl, but the Realm Warp, and that gets them to safety, and Aiming is taking an inner turret in the mid lane.
This is what Ziggs is supposed to do, you know, just the tower killer, but Aiming has just been playing tower destruction duty this whole game, getting plates for days, getting towers for days, and that Darn in trouble.
Oh, another hook gonna connect. Beryl's anchor is magnetized to Doran today.
Ult. Oh.
She once again in trouble here. Doesn't have the Dominus and is gonna have to try and get himself over this wall. Yeah, not going to happen. And Mega Inferno Bomb was going to be there to confirm the kill. Unfortunately, Gumushi was unable to get that because he was dead too fast.
Yeah.
A lot of Pythons.
Pythons, pretty
quite big. Yeah, maybe he's one of those. This Cassiopeia is very, very scary. Ona is also pretty scary. I really do like Blackfire Torch, so I'm already okay with it for that reason, as now Faker is looking to get himself out with the Realm Warp, and he does! Chomp not going to be enough.
Yes.
He needs to be reminded of that.
Don't do that.
But no one else needs to be reminded of that. Second Dragon comes through here for DK. Okay, see how it does work out as Gumushi throws a big old book at the Otacon. But at the moment, it looks like it's just kind of helping. Redemption comes down. Showmaker comes in. He's a lot of DPS represented here for DK, but he's not hitting the Otacon right now. They're looking for a turn. Miasma comes in. Another hook comes down as Doran has to flash away. He's been subjugated as well. And they look for the Crocodile. He slices, dices, and gets himself out of there. As Shiu's still looking a little worse for wear, but not quite as bad as Beryl, who is basically out of this fight completely. T1 take control of the Otacon. Lucid trying to get over there as Beryl finds another hook onto Doran. The Petrifying Gaze as well onto Faker. They've taken 2 kills, but it is the Otacon secured by T1. Now can they get out of there? That's the big question. As DK, it's a bit of a sacrifice to give it away if they're not able to get a little bit more. As the pillar will come through pretty soon here from Lucid, and Ona is not getting out of this one. Aiming even able to come over and pick up the kill with the Gatling gun, and DK, that is a big lead now as far as money. As this Baron will just go to DK. There is nothing T1 can do about it. Mega Inferno Bomb not stealing it this time.
On that neutral, really making, Shiwu, just not flash.
Gonna get Realm Warp done, and will get interrupted there by the Steadfast Presence. Still there's a fair bit of health bar to get through, but the Satchel will hold him in place and takes down the Crocodile. A cheeky one back, and that will actually deter DK and put a little bit of a stopper in this Baron push.
Won't be able to get,
alone. As now Keria is in a lot of trouble. That trophy is just pesky.
Darn doing pretty good into Shiwu specifically, but he's got friends.
Yeah, he's got a lot of buddies, and the public execution is going to miss. There are so many things on the ground, and the turret just evaporates. Aiming looked at it, and it just exploded. Beryl going to make his way over, and I think that's the base that's going to get broken here on this push. That Rebel Baron power play that I was telling you was quite low is now obscenely large, 4,000. And Soul Point now to be picked up from for DK as well.
Aiming level 16, going to be able to recall and pick up Infinity Edge.
Oh, God.
There's a lot of Make Treads across the board.
Yeah.
D+. Only person who doesn't have Make Treads is Showmaker.
And he can't build them.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate.
But a lot of them upgraded as well. And the AD damage, Ona's not doing that much AD damage. I mean, he's quite fed, but it's hard to spread it as Nocturne, and Darn is 0-6.
Yeah, he's just eating anchors.
Yeah,
As Paranoia comes down, we've got a Realm Warp to join him in here as they look for Aiming, but he just gets himself out, and Beryl is going to vacate as well as Showmaker flashes for it. Lucid dives in on top, and and the Nocturne and Ziggs immediately go down. Kerry gets caught out, and this game, ladies and gentlemen, is over. Faker is the last man standing. Teleports come in as DK, it's their turn for the jump scare, and now they will take down another in hit. They're going to take down some Nexus turrets as well, and DK in a classic DK game 1 are going to be 1-0 in this series.
T1 try and find a way back in. They look for aiming, but this time he holds strong. 0 deaths in this game, 9-0-3, that early Corki pick coming up huge, and G+ will go 1-0 up in this series. It was T1 having side selection in this game 1 as well, so a pretty big first game to take for D+. I will say though, the other side of it is obviously the Ziggs denial, the Ambassador denial. These are some...
That's Janet, and that will be locked in.
Oh.
Has really loved this pick. Ari Zin has been a fair bit of power in the duo as far as mid-jungle is concerned, but Ari just kind of doesn't make us feel good.
Yeah, so
here at the LCK.
Obviously the mobility pretty good into T1's composition, a lot of outplay potential good into the Talia generally. But not a pick that inspires a lot of joy. I think T1's composition is robust, and what you typically kind of expect, right? You have 2 pretty high tier carry picks, and you have a lot of frontline, a lot of engage potential. And I feel like for D+, you have more threats on the composition, and it's like multiple threats into the, you know, if you can make Guma's life difficult, if you make Faker's life difficult, sure. I think it really just comes down to Beryl's Jan and what he can do on this.
We were saying that T1 are a team that are very, very good at being there in the clutch. Well, they don't have too many extra lives as we jump into the rift here for game number 2. Like the microclasm of a team fighters. We are going to see a good little headbutt back onto Beryl. Doesn't find all that much value with that tornado as the flash forward from Ona as well. Beryl holds the flash for a very long time and then stays alive as Ona almost not so lucky, down to 100 health as he backs away. Getting to it here on this Dragon towards the bottom side, and already about a 400 gold lead has been accrued by DK just in the laning phase alone, largely to do with this Rumble and the Lucian that are having a pretty good time. Ona not going to be able to steal away this Dragon, and I don't think T1 needs to be too worried about it for now.
When she gave movement speed to everyone on the map, oh, yeah. Showmaker.
Yeah, that's the flash, has to come out there. Good seismic shove placement from Faker to make. As Lucid comes over, spotted on this ward. And Faker throws some rocks at him. Charm is going to connect though as in goes Lucid, skirting the rocks as Faker has to flash to get himself out. Beryl was making his way over. But Janaganks aren't necessarily the most impactful things. Still getting the flash, a big deal, especially with Grub.
Also, the Weaver's Wall not quite there too. So now D+, they can immediately grab a Grub.
Yeah, they will be able to take one of them, but Carrier is going to be able to sweep out this pit, and it looks like T1 have retaken position.
Yeah, the big thing was because Beryl was assisting with that mid play, he wasn't helping aiming in the top lane, aiming's grabbing that wave, so...
I think Shiu is underneath the turret here, as the equalizer...
spot to be in.
Yeah. Equalizer placement was a thing, as they're setting up for a potential dive here onto Faker. Wind becomes lightning, and Lucid gonna flash out of the way, gets a nice knock up, and Faker, remember, no flash, and will be taken down by the horde of minions that had been prepared earlier. The flash has to come out here from Shiu, though, as Doran makes his way down. Still, first blood going over to DK. It's likely to happen.
Oh.
As Beryl flying around a little bit here, as Kerry is ghosting for him. Let's see whether Beryl's going to be able to make it, as the Monsoon is going to be waited for, and they pile on top and take out the Janna. Wow, that was immediate punishment as soon as the Monsoon came in. And we'll be told to leave. A lot of vision here for DK was invested towards that bottom side to guarantee the double Dragon, and now Shiu is going to get left out to dry. Equalizer doing a fair bit of damage, but that's a lot of CC, and he will just be taken down. Scrap Shield will allow him to at least get this wave, or the majority of it, as now a counter dive towards the bottom side as aiming is flashing away, had turret aggro, and did need to be a little bit worried about that one. There is the Unbreakable Will from Carrier, and that will keep him alive. And so no kills on the cross map here for DK. Well, now it's up to 600 gold, as we can see, as the Tornadoes are just streaming their way over the top of these minions. In comes Sion. Hey, buddy. It's going to be a bit of damage onto Beryl as the Zephyr comes out, and Doran remembers that his life is probably not going to be very fun.
They have those 2 dragons, but it's not the most meaningful soul. Oh, he has... sorry, Doran, he has flash.
Well, he might have to use it here, as Lucid will be able to find the knock-up. All the deception comes down, and oh, he's just dead. And he knows it. not going to be able to flash out of this one, and he will get some use out of the passive.
And it's going to mean D+ one objective or one kill away from Feats of Strength.
Very, very close. Feats of Warfare are available for both teams with 1 kill.
But, oh.
Yeah, Weave as well coming on down. Xiu does have flash and uses it to get out of that seismic shove. Is now aiming once again, throwing the culling into the cow. As Gumiushi with On the Hunt already procced. Fair bit of damage onto Lucid here. As we've got the unstoppable onslaught interrupted there by Showmaker. And the charm is going to come down as well. That's going to take the Scion out of the fight as Redemption getting Lucid healthy once more. But Showmaker isn't quite that.
Yeah, his TP's up soon, so I think he's going to try and recall. Actually, he doesn't have time to. We'll just stay around on low HP. Okay, he's going for it now.
Would then be invested to make this play happen, but instead it's looking like Soul Point on the cards here for DK, and not a lot of vision available for T1 in the area. It looks like they are opting in for a trade, but this will be Feats of Strength going over to DK.
And all of T1 are kind of moving in. The wall's coming through.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice knock-up onto Carrier there as Doran off to the side. Teleport on the flank angle, though, as Xiu looking to make his way in. Doran not going to find any joy with that Q as another culling comes down. Carrier almost just out of the fight before it's even started. And in fact, that is the case.
Available to the RE, but obviously able to skid around the fights quite effectively. Now Xiu flash is almost up.
Yeah, just barely. Does use it right when it comes back off, but there is a Cataclysm down. Still going to be able to make his way out of there. Looking to deny it if they can, but if they do manage to take this Drake, it is just 1 Chemtech. Doesn't mean a massive amount as aiming, looking for Carrier here with that culling as the equalizer goes down. Redemption comes on in, the charm goes wide. Fair bit of damage coming on through, but no commitment here. As seismic shove as Xiu. Gonna move now towards Faker. Carrier, 50% health as Showmaker looking for an angle. That's a Mega Cone, remember, as the flash forward from Doran. Monsoon from Beryl here, trying to come on through as in fact it was the Crescent Guard as Lucid flashes his way out, but the Cataclysm will be able to take him down. Still the charm connects, and the Jarvan falls down as well. Doran trying to be a monster in the front line, but Gumiushi is skirted on top of here by Showmaker. They take down the Scion, but they do not get the soul. That is a big deal. It's still a big win, though, for DK.
Seen this build, so not as much.
Carrier finding a pulverize, but it's only onto Beryl for now. Crescent Guard out here as well from Lucid, who finds himself in a very awkward spot. Cataclysm, as it's a possible overextension here for Ona, but he finds a phenomenal flag and drag on top of Beryl, and then the pulverize comes on in, but still, the damage is massive. It's just not enough as T1. They manage the aggro perfectly and wipe out 4 members of DK. This was, it looked suicidal.
It was, he died.
Yeah, well, but like, look at how much he achieved.
It was so good. It was so well played.
My God, he is just, actually, he's something else.
He didn't even die.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did.
As DK now looking to try and defend as the Ottercon's still up and available. Pulverize coming on through here as Lucid finds himself cornered off, but Showmaker has a good angle. The equalizer's down in a great position, is now aiming, working like a typewriter as he looks to soften up T1. The health bars are getting low, but they do make their way out.
Yeah, D+ feel hesitant because they've lost Showmaker's ultimate. Now they have to approach. They don't have control of the area against Talia Scion.
Oh, Faker goes golden, seeing that charm coming over the wall as now aiming gets flashed into. Headbutt pulverize, and there's everything, but he still managed to flash away. The Monsoon's down as well as Faker was taken out. Lucid gets into the backline, but Gumiushi, oh no! He's taken down, and now aiming is frontlining into Doran, and that is exactly what he was looking for. DK strike back and find themselves a great team fight.
The Dragon's getting shredded down quickly.
Yeah, we'll see who's going to be able to get this smite, as it's another one that T1 desperately want to be able to find for themselves. The Howling Gale not quite finding the avenue in as Lucid is in position. Faker looking for the wall angle, and he will be able to get that one down. Wind becomes lightning, but there's the headbutt to get the jungler out of there. Carrier might sacrifice himself, though, as the seismic shove, and down goes Lucid. Now Doran trying to get it done as Ona finds aiming, but the Relentless Pursuit's going to get him out of there. It's a good charm as well, but Ona just flashes on top of him, and Showmaker has to flash away. It's a triple for Gumiushi, and T1 this time find the team fight. Now Lucid might find himself in an awkward position once again. This time has the whole crew with him. but the seismic shove comes down yet again. This time he got the ult off, but it doesn't actually matter. As now Aiming finds himself in amongst two frontliners. Showmaker looking to make his way in, and Aiming is just dead. Out of position entirely. Carrier finds the headbutt back, and you thought you were chasing the cow. He was just getting you in position to be butchered yourself. And T1, I don't think they're losing another fight in this game. Avoids getting knocked up. Could have been a dangerous one, as now in goes Lucid, finds the angle as Doran's gonna get pushed back. That's kind of where he wants to be. Headbutt pulverize, and they take down both of the solo laners in an instant. Shiu does go golden though, as Aiming picks up a double, but then he's lying on the floor. And Lucid, the last man standing, it's a quadra kill for the Jarvan as they're looking to set it up, and there's the Penta for Owner. If there's ever anyone who is deserving in this game, it is Owner. He has been so good, and gets to celebrate with a jungle pentakill at the end.
A crazy performance from Owner, delivering the bounce house onto D+. This J4 performance, an absolute masterclass. And T1 answer back 1-1 in the series. I think the Janna pick from Beryl was pretty interesting, set them up for some early success, and in teamfights a lot of value, but the teamfight execution, especially around a comp like this, which has such a strong, robust front line.
Oh man, that is a cannon.
Okay.
Which T1 are we watching?
This is a very sort of feast of famine composition, sort of game, because you have a lot of squishy champions on the side of T1 and a lot of potential to blow them up from the side of D+, but if they get ahead and you get like Zhonya's on the Orianna, Zhonya's on the Kennen, those ults will just explode you as you're diving in. The Lulu and the Xayah will be able to survive the initial burst, and you'll be able to turn the fights around. So I think momentum's going to be super important in this game.
Just have to see how it does go. Some interesting drafts on both sides as we get onto the Rift here for game number 3.
For the Aatrox to find an advantage. I feel like the cannon does have to mess up to a degree to allow you to get a good, favorable trade.
And is going to be unseen as he walks his way in. This is dangerous, as Aiming going to have to flash to get himself out of the way, as the feathers not going to be enough to take him down, but still he is going to have to go home. No flash in hand anymore.
And Wukong just can't do this. You know, Wukong is incredibly strong.
Oh god. Shiu looking for an angle here once again, flashed for it. But now Beryl is looking for a bit of an angle, and Faker is in trouble. Lucid turns up as well, and this will be first blood being delivered to the Monkey King. Flash in from Doran, looking for the angle. Owner is here as Shiu tries to make the world end, but it's his world that is going down.
Pressure.
All right, we've just got a killer instinct as Aiming goes in. Level 5 for Gumushi, so he can't use the Feather Storm. Still, Owner is going to turn up. It will be Guma going down, and Owner not going to be able to do this one by himself. And so DK finding one back themselves. And it's also going to be some grubs going on over to DK here at the same time. So first objective will be taken from the map as Beryl gets himself over the wall, because of course it was about to get sandwiched by a Lulu and a Pantheon. And all of the grubs will be here picked up by DK. T1 in position. Shape Splitter not going to be the option here, as Owner walking so quickly, as Lucid will get himself out of there, and Beryl will not. He is extraordinarily dead. So Beryl for grubs. Very silly. As now Doran is in a lot of trouble. Does have Slicing Maelstrom, but there is the Cyclone to come down. Lucid will die as Doran even lives. Aiming comes in and finishes him off, but now Shiu is the one in trouble. Pop Blossom here, and it's not going to be enough to save anything. And in fact, I think Beryl is just going to die, and Carrier is going to come on over and make sure that that happens. That was not the dive that DK was looking for.
Huge turnaround play for T1. The Pantheon coming in clutch there.
So it will be a 9-minute-old dragon that will be taken down here by T1, as DK looking for a bit of an angle towards this turret, but Doran says no, and a massive Pop Blossom to come through, but it's only onto the cannon, and Carrier comes on over. Beryl is going to be dead yet again. That's 0-3 for this Nico, and another kill going over to the cannon. They might be able to get Aiming as well, and there it is, and in comes Owner once again. Shiu's going to get taken down. Now Lucid's by himself, and DK are just falling apart unless it is. No, it's not. And Owner is going to pick up a double. That's a 6-0 Pantheon.
And on the bot side, Pantheon flies in and is just so strong.
Immediate shockwave as well on top of the Pantheon. He also gets the orb for the extra tankiness. And it's just beautifully played.
So if this engage from D+ doesn't work, your team comp kind of falls apart.
Well, Showmaker looking for a bit of an angle here. Gravity Field is down in a decent position as Doran going to get flashed on here. Shiu finds his way over, and there is the shutdown. It's Showmaker that actually collects the kill. T1 still in position, though. A lot of resources were used to take down the cannon. Shockwave connects onto a couple as now Beryl trying to keep himself alive. Lucid takes down the Rift Herald. They collect the Eye, and T1, they're just looking to get out of there. Man disadvantage coming on in, but still Faker doing so much work on this Orianna. There's a reason why it gets denied from T1 so often.
I think we're kind of fishing a little bit, but they don't over... Oh, no.
Well, Shiu is likely to die. Unfortunately, his Sundered Sky's not quite enough.
That's a lot of damage.
And at this point, DK are just getting pulled around the map. Gumayushi might be in trouble. This time he has Featherstorm, though, and a whole bunch of friends. And T1 are going to flash towards them. There's Faker picking up the two-man Shockwave. Now Lucid's in trouble. Cyclone has to be used very defensively, but I just don't think it's defensive enough. And in goes Ona to lock down the kill. That is a legendary Pantheon. And DK circling the drain already here pre-20 minutes.
Featherstorm, Flash, Barrier, Wild Growth. None of them even used.
Oh, no.
We're in trouble. And D+, oh, man.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I don't think Shiu is going to be surviving this one, as Ona does leap on top of him. Umbral Dash to get him over that wall, and
okay, he can...
Actually,
no, I think
he's going to flap his way...
Oh, the TP, the TP!
Can he actually get himself out? And yeah, the teleport will be able to get him out of there.
Yep. In the mid-tier 1, obviously opens up some better angles to approach from when they are looking for those flanks.
Fire reference that I've been looking for.
I think that's a one positive for D+, is that the first dragon was very late.
True.
So a potential soul is very late in this game.
You don't want to target him.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be on the same screen as him. Exactly. As aiming is now going to, speaking of which, just get flashed on. There's the Shockwave, and where did he go? He's just gone.
Not dying so much. Doran went for the Oblivion Orb, so he's just... I mean, it's a good buy. There's a lot of healing on D+ with the double Sundered Sky. But he's fine dying once he's pressed his ultimate.
Well, Pop Blossom is going to find one here, but Ona says goodbye, Beryl. And down he will go. Now Lucid finding himself in an awkward spot as the angle from Doran is glorious. Just executes aiming and looks to make his way out. The man drop comes in and Doran goes down, but it does not matter. It's only Sheer left alive. He's going to try and Umbrally dash away. He's a very cute snowman. But this game is still looking 100% T1's.
Beautiful ult there from Doran, just decimating the backline of D+, but I feel like this game was looking pretty over long before that. 11-0-3 now for Ona on this Pantheon. Baron about to come through as well. T1 looking to take this one to match point.
Oh, okay. Another Shockwave to come through here as Faker was pushing out this mid wave. And now it's Soul Point here for T1 on top of everything else. I don't know whether we're going to see a Soul this game.
Now Doran has a Seeker's Arm Guard. Okay.
Aha.
Okay.
But now they're looking to catch Faker out of position. Nice two-man Shockwave does come in as Pop Blossom will pick him up, but the Wild Growth is there, and Ona gets on top of aiming. They're like, that's cute, but our Orianna is a tank. Shiu trying to get in there, but Carrier just walks him around like he's taking the dog for a walk, and now Lucid, he's going to try and get out of there. And the Monkey not going to be able to affect the ending of this game in a positive way for DK. I think they're going to have to look for the next one if they want to make a victory, because T1 are moving towards match point, and they're doing so in style as 13-0-4 for this Pantheon. And if there's ever a way to break a losing streak, this is a pretty good way to do it.
Honestly, this has been the best Ona performance we've had since last game.
Yeah,
he's been on a tear.
An absolute tear, yeah.
Absolute tear. D+ getting forced back onto their fountain, trying to look for a return, weren't able to find it, and T1 will take us to match point in this series.
1 win away from Worlds, 1 win away from keeping their hopes alive.
Ona was having such a massive impact on the map, reminding us why Pantheon was just permabanned during the regular season. And sure, there was some hits to the champion, but showing what you can do if you have that early pressure and the rest of the team just coming in strong behind him.
So Showmaker is hovering Malzahar.
Yeah, it feels more denial with the Leona, because I will say Leona not fantastic into Jax, with the fact that you can obviously counter-strike the stun, can be a bit annoying, but otherwise Leona definitely fine for setting up some big ultimates. Definitely means that aiming will be running cleanse as well in this game. And the Morgana comes through. So we've seen the Morgana specifically in the Annie. And if you think about the value this game, Morgana into Annie, into Leona, is pretty absurdly high value here.
Yeah,
if you go something like a more AP-focused jungle here, you could get a lot of value in this situation.
Well, GP comes out.
So you can see he's kind of like, oh, I don't want to go.
Rammus! What?
Goes for the Rammus.
Hang on, where is everything going? Orcs, help me!
Okay, it's mid Morgana, Rammus support, and Defiri jungle. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Right, okay, never mind. So Beryl is just picking his champion. What does Rammus support do?
Taunts people.
Got it.
Has a lot of armor. I guess the thing into the Leona specifically is when she goes to stun, you taunt her, so she stuns you instead, I guess is maybe the theory. Some ways similar to Shen, a little bit less swift. A lot of ganking power, you know? I mean, Rammus has a lot of ganking power in general as a jungler, so the theory is going to be similar here. I expect to see him running around the map trying to make things happen, similar to what we saw Ona do in last game.
That makes me a little bit sad, but what doesn't make me sad is fan chance. So let's get into game number 4.
So it very much feels like a sort of pick where you're like, okay.
It's a lot of okay on both sides of the rift here as the Powerball once again going to come on through here as Deadly Flourish comes down. Carrier will turn up as Beryl is doing his very best to get value out of this, but he will just get hit by this Zenith Blade as in goes Carrier, and now just looking to try and latch on to Beryl. Shield of Daybreak comes in, but Beryl is going to be okay. The flash from Ona! And he tanks up the turret, but he is not worried about it at all, and as it turns out, Beryl is not actually okay. We could have a look at the support Rammus stats from the LCK to figure that one out, as we're going to check this one out from Ona's perspective.
He closes so much distance here. The E to the minion. Oh, man, that was clean. No matter what happens with this series, no matter the outcome, whether D+ continue on in their playoff run or not, isn't this the way Beryl wants to go?
Ooh, nice taunt to come down there as Doran was kind of baiting. Cannon Barrage does come on through as there is the slam from Ona. Picks up yet another one onto Beryl. Beryl getting some work done yet again. Soul Shackles picked up here by Ona. But that is 2 grubs now secured, and it looks like T1 not wanting to contest for the 3rd.
Yeah, Shiwu being here, and the fact that Doran doesn't have ult, doesn't have TP, he's down bot lane. Oh man, coming in with a Morgana ult. I think Amy's going to try and ult to assist Beryl.
Well, let's see whether the curtain call is going to work, because Beryl is very, very dead. Feats of Warfare do come down, and Carrier is able to tank up the turret. It is just that easy as Showmaker comes in. Lucid is taking a dragon. They are trading things for the Rammus. And the Gangplank fits the same bill. Solar Flare going to come on through as, if at first, wait, they've killed Beryl 3 times. Well, never mind. He is going to be able to slam his way over the wall. That was close. Nicely played, but another one does come in there, and they landed onto Lucid. He just gets blown up, and now Beryl will maybe survive. Gets the Powerball out, is now aiming, trying to get some work done onto Ona, but they had the Cannon Barrage there in position as well, so Ona is going to be just fine, and it's Lucid's turn to die in this game. We do have Blackfire Torch completed here for Showmaker, but he's been a bit of a non-factor so far in this game. As Carrier just wraps around looking for Shiu. He does press the Grandmaster's Might button, but I still think he's just dead. Lucid turns up, but a little late, and finds a couple of pickles, but not too much more.
Behind Neferi and Morgana are definitely these champions where if you're behind, you just can't really kill targets who are a bit bulkier.
And the Gangplank as well is just getting out of control. Gangplank with tempo in a game is just nigh unstoppable.
Than Ona does.
Yeah, it's completely ridiculous as now Showmaker tries to put down the Soul Shackles, and the Redemption helps Faker out here and just destroys the Morgana. Cheeky little assist there from Carrier across the map. Otherwise, it would have been fine.
I feel like that, the answer to the cannon is just drop a barrel in their head.
Yeah.
Oh no, Beryl!
Oh dear, gonna get engaged on once again. Gumayushi gonna come on over, and another slam. This time it just fails. But that's fine. Beryl will get himself out of there. Has to use the ult to do so.
Mistakes, but also like a big punish from D+.
He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. Lucid might be okay as well as Faker throws down a bear, but the doggo is looking to take him down. Still very, very close as it's a 1-for-1, but that is 1 on the board for DK.
And I'm pretty sure Faker's worth a lot more gold than Beryl is right now.
I would say so.
I will definitely say... Oh no.
He just gets ignited, and the Solar Flare comes down, thankfully. Black Shield is going to be there, but he still dies. The last tick, and that's why you buy potions, ladies and gentlemen, I guess.
The thing as well, Carrier had redemption. He's just sending the message.
And the message was received.
Yeah.
So Gumiushi does take a lot of bullets. And now we've got Lucid going in and then going untargetable. We'll see whether he can actually survive as the Pickle's not going to connect. And Owner is so incredibly strong. He'll find Beryl yet again as Shiu now trying to do something, but he cannot protect his Bowser. He's going to be able to slam his way out. And there is Owner going golden as well. Man, he can afford that? That is ridiculous. As Showmaker looks for the Soul Shackles onto Carrier. He does walk his way out. It's only Lucid that's died so far, but now Showmaker might be the one going down. As he flashes away, the Dark Binding will be avoided. And Owner now looks for some chains, but does not get them. And Doran is taking it in a turret in the top lane.
And they got a turret mid as well. I feel like Owner's chains just go further. You know, I feel like the chain length has just been so long whenever he's throwing them out. And D+, just going from bad to... Barrel's
Come on, Beryl! Let's protect the turret. He got the barrel.
Gets the taunt.
Beryl versus Barrel, as it turns out, it's Beryl. Okay, we got a flanking teleport. Let's see whether this one's going to work out as Lucid turns up as well. Doran is the target. He eats some oranges, not quite as K as he wants to be, and so that is a kill. And a BF sword in comparison to the Tunneler. All right, flash out from Faker. Showmaker looks for a bit of an angle. Curtain Call comes in alongside the Black Shield, and aiming is able to finish it off.
I like how Faker was like, maybe Tibbers can block the shot.
Didn't quite work out there, but still, sometimes you just got to throw it down. He's got Malignance, it'll be fine. It'll be back off. As they might be able to get themselves a turret. That could be a big deal.
Oh, with the objective bounty.
There it is.
Hey, the gold lead.
It's only 7.7k.
Well, less than it has been for a while. Okay, Barrel's going in.
This might be a bridge too far, as Shiu is actually over here. Looks to dive in on top of Carrier, but the Cloud Rift going to be helping out. Now the Cannon Barrage comes on through. Grandmaster's Might once again. Not going to quite be enough as the bullet time finishes off the Jax. And now Lucid just desperately trying to jump over a wall. He might be able to do so, but instead, it's Gumiushi that locks this one up. T1 dropping their wallets on them in the end is now aiming, looking for an angle. Showmaker, can you actually find the CC? As Barrel power slams! And he's dead. Gumiushi's going to be able to lock that one up. And now Showmaker, oh, the chains just barely missing a link. That is adorable.
Look at him.
What is happening here?
What's going on?
What the heck? That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm so glad that the Korean broadcast as well has realized that this is the more important thing to focus on. As all right, we got a slam on in here from Barrel, who taunts up Owner. Oh, it's not actually on the Korean broadcast. This is actually Ji-Sun and Yundo that are doing this just for us. Oh, that is even better.
We're blessed.
As we might be blessed with a team fight as well, as Barrel is in a bit of trouble. Some bullets coming on through there, stolen away by Owner, as it's curtains for Barrel once again for the 6th time. We call that the reverse Owner from the Pantheon game. He's trying to go the distance.
You know what?
The other direction.
If he's gonna go out, this is the most Barrel way to go out I could possibly imagine.
It certainly is. So maybe we'll save that for when Nexuses are exploding.
I think that's a good plan.
Some shackle coming on through. Dark Binding will connect here as the taunt comes down as well. The chain CC comes in. Doran is difficult to kill, but aiming, he's got a 3rd bullet, and he's going to put it in the Pirate. As all right, flash in from Shiu, looking for Faker here. But Faker's still offering a fair bit of damage back, and they did manage to get him.
Okay. Guys, in case you thought the game was close, in case you... Maybe you've got like actual tunnel vision and you can't see the outside of the screen, you can't see the scoreboard at the top.
Oh, Shiu actually able to avoid the barrels. That was very cute. Does manage to get the last one as well, and leaps away.
There you go. Let's spice things up a bit.
Well, it's precisely what they're going to do. Lucid going to be able to dodge the Solar Flare relatively well. Bullet time is going to get eaten as well. And Beryl finding a wraparound, looking for Carrier. Let's see whether they can actually lock him down. Down he will go, as now Shiu, the Cannon Barrage not getting the most value. Shiu's actually able to go golden as well. But the Leap Strike gets himself out of there. Faker follows with a huge bear though. Drops it on top of them, aiming just barely, limping his way out. And the flash in from Owner finds the slam to take down the Jin. Showmaker just doing his best to clear out some of these minions, and the Soul Shackles to come on forward. He's dead, ladies and gentlemen, although he does flash to get himself. Oh my, what the heck just happened? Okay, Showmaker sort of lived. This game's a mess. This turret is going to survive at least for the moment, but Oner is just going to come through and take this one down. That is a taunt on top of Oner, and he goes golden with that Zhonya's purchased earlier. Now Lucid in a little bit of trouble as he is able to get through the base gate.
Oner's 5 levels up on Lucid. He is 5 levels up on Lucid.
He's level 18. He's 2 levels above the highest level on the other team, and now they go in. Faker is going to go down. Shiu's going to go golden once again. The interruption is decent as Lucid gets into the backline to take down Gumayushi. And Shiu looking for an angle. There is no Zhonya's on Oner, and that is actually going to be almost an ace. Doran is alive, but DK just won a fight.
How did they just win a fight this far down in gold? It was 13,000 plus. Oner was 5 levels up.
Dragon aiming is pretty strong, as you can see by that dragon damage. And now Lucid, oh my god, those barrels hurt so much. The cannon barrage comes down as well. Aiming does a lot of damage, but that is going to be Cloud Soul coming in. But there's the slam from Beryl. They're looking to try and take down Gumayushi, but Oner is able to take him down. Oh my god, the damage from T1 is disgusting. Showmaker looking to lock down Faker, but I just don't think it's going to work. Aiming, finding some bullets, but there he goes. That's the ace. That's the last-ditch effort. And T1 here in Game 4 will book their ticket to Worlds and give themselves a chance to still win the LCK here in 2025.
The back-to-back world champions won't be denied an opportunity to run it back one more time and still can run that lower bracket and try and win the LCK. T1 ramped up and take down D+ 3-1.
That tick in the jungle box was as easy as it was today.
It's been his most dominant, right? And he got a pentakill in it. I feel like the more dominant one sent them down to the lower bracket. And as much as such a massive impact early in the Pantheon was taken over the game, was everywhere. The Silas game was 4-0. They were so far ahead in that one.
Yeah.
Locked in. So
the scale of this gold difference, by the way, like, is not represented very well. Because it's a very, very big up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not that steep, but it's large.
Yeah, I feel like we need something for reference.
Yeah, we need scale. You know how you like.
Does anyone have a banana for scale?
Yeah. You know how you get the dinosaur books, and it always has the guy that's the most obvious player of the match ever.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the post-match interview translation, joined by Oner the POM and Faker on the side of T1. You just secured Worlds and will head over to the next round. How do you feel? Today really determined whether we go to Worlds or not, which made it so crucial, but we made it, and I'm just so relieved. And what about you, Faker? Now that we made it to Worlds, I feel at relief, and we'll make sure that we are prepared for the next match. And on day 1 of playoffs, you guys had a match against DK, and it was a close 5-game series. So how did your lower bracket preparation look like? Yeah, we went all the way to 5 games and we won at the very end, but back then I felt like, as long as we play as we normally do, I thought that we would get a 3-0. So today, we just had to make sure that we don't get ahead of ourselves. And after dropping game 1 today, it looked like you guys kept improving throughout the series. So what was the main feedback? No, we just talked about what to do in the draft for the next game and how to play out the game. And just as Oner has mentioned, I think we just really tried to make sure that we brush up on our fundamentals and basics. And in game 2, Oner got a pentakill with Jarvan. This was the 5th LCK jungler pentakill and your very first penta. So how was it? I never really pay much attention to getting a pentakill when I play. But the moment I saw the quadra kill pop up on the screen, I said, oh my god. I told myself, this might be my moment. And despite the pentakill, I feel like just the fact that we were able to win today just made my day. And so what did you think, Faker? Did you guys have some comms to let him take it? Honestly, in my mind, for a split second, I thought about stealing it, but we just let him take it. Would you like to congratulate him? You know, it's a bit iffy to just congratulate him because he has stolen my penta before. So does that mean that you'll give Faker a pentakill next time? I'll think about it. And in Game 3, you demonstrated Pantheon's true powers, and you were proactively engaging in lanes. So, what were some shot calls you were making with your laners? Yeah, I think I ganked a lot in the early game. And just from discussing about warding and vision, I actually talked to the bot lane more often. And what about you? How did it feel as one of the laners? Yeah, I feel like he always would follow up whenever I asked him to look at my lane, so it felt great. And in Game 4, Rammus support was picked by your opponent. It must have been pretty hard to predict, so how did you guys react? You know, when we were talking about it, we thought that, the only support that we could see is support Maokai. And I think the enemy was quite aware of that. And maybe that's why they went with the Rammus. And we thought it was quite funny. It was quite entertaining. And we had a lot of fun playing against him. And when it comes to T1, your strength in teamfighting really stands out. And you guys picked Sylas, Annie for Game 4. And we've noticed that even in LPL, Annie has high pick rates. So what is good about Sylas Annie comp? Owner? Is there not? I mean, since Annie has hard CC, I think that's just something that you can follow up with. And she's just really strong. What about you, Faker? In team fighting, there's a lot of strengths. But this time around in Game 4, I didn't really get a lot of ganks, not a lot of action in mid lane, so we don't really see much there. And with Worlds on the line in today's match, there must have been a lot of pressure for T1 as the defending world champion and must have been so desperate to watch you guys win. So when you broke the Nexus in Game 4, what was the very first emotion that hit you? Since we were able to secure Worlds, I've just felt a massive relief. And honestly, we had fallen to the elimination match, but I think this is our spot. World's spot is ours, so I think it's just where we belong, and I feel like it just ended up happening the way it should. And Faker, now you will move on over to meet Genji. So what message do you have for Genji? Since we are down in the lower bracket, we didn't realize that we would meet Genji there, but I hope that we get a good match in. I'm thinking, I hope we have a good match, you guys. And what would you like to say to your fans, Faker? In this playoffs journey, there are a lot of ups and downs. And I'm just grateful for all the fans that continue to support us. And we will keep on trying and preparing hard for the rest of playoffs. And Owner, honestly, there were a lot of moments where we struggled, but I think we always managed to pull through, so we will make sure to try our best to be prepared for the next match. So please continue supporting us. And that's the end of the interview with Faker and Owner, and back to the space. Thank you.